Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Clippers potentially trading for Kevin Durant. It was reported today by NBA Central that the Los Angeles Clippers are a dark horse contender to land Kevin Durant. And I'm going to talk about a potential Kevin Durant to Los Angeles Clippers trade. Here's a potential. There was no potential trade proposed, but here's a potential trade I'm going to propose that would get Kevin Durant to Los Angeles. The Suns would receive Norman Powell, who very well should have been an all-star last year for the way he played in the first half of the season when Kawhi Leonard was out. Ivica Zubac, who had one of his best seasons of his career, probably the best season of his career, and was in the conversation for most improved player of the year. Derrick Jones Jr., the 30th overall pick, 2027 first-round pick, but this is a first-round pick that OKC holds the right to swap from that Paul George trade. And then the Clippers would receive Kevin Durant and Nick Richards. So Kevin Durant obviously had such a great season, had probably, I would say, the best three-point shooting season of his career, 43% for Durant this year. His best is 45%, but this year was almost 200 more attempts this year than it was in that 2020-21 season, and also averaged over a half a more attempt per game this year at 6 compared to his 5.4 in the 2020-21 season. So I know it's 2% greater 2020-21 season compared to this year, but you got to consider that he took 200 less attempts and almost one attempt less per game in the 2020-21 season compared to this year's season, and averaged 27 points per game, even though he's playing next to Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. He averaged 6 rebounds per game, averaged a little bit over 4 assists per game, over 1 block per game, almost 1 steal per game. Like I talked about, he was amazing from 3, and even though his minute average went down a little bit this year, and his field goal attempt average also went down a little bit this year as well. But his field goal percentage actually went up, not a lot, just a little bit, for Durant this year, and so. Yeah, but I still think it was a great season for Durant. He'd be a great addition for this Clippers team. But for the Clippers, yes, you pair Durant with Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. That potentially brings them to a championship contender. But you've got to give up, some players that are a big part of your team. Like Ivica Zubac is a big part of this team. I think him and James Harden's chemistry is outstanding. He just had his best season of his career, averaged 17 points per game and nearly 13 rebounds per game, over 1 block per game, and almost 3 assists per game. His field goal percentage was one of the highest of his career. Actually, no, it wasn't. 63%, which was actually it's a little bit over his career average, but that's kind of been the normal for Zubac in the last 3 seasons. So, but still, I mean, had a unbelievable season this year, and I think the chemistry between him and James Harden is a big reason because of that. So you lose him, and then you get into this problem of who's your center. I guess Nick Richards, if he goes with Kevin Durant in this trade, he just becomes the new starting center for Los Angeles unless they, sign someone else. But you've also got to give up Norman Powell, who was a big part of this team when Kawhi Leonard was out. I guess Kevin Durant can just do that if Kawhi Leonard's going to miss time, which you'd hope he wouldn't, but he will. 60 games, 60 starts for Powell this year, 22 points per game. He struggled in the postseason, but I think a big reason with that has to do with the fact that there was an injury that caused him to start to play bad at the end of the season and in the postseason, and it also, you don't have to do as much once Kawhi Leonard's back. He averaged 16 points per game in that series, shooting a total of 47% from the floor. It wasn't that bad for Powell in that series against the Nuggets, but the numbers were a lot down compared to the regular season, and especially the regular season where there was no Kawhi. So, and then Derrick Jones Jr. also played really well when there was no Kawhi either. And then you've got to give up some draft picks. But I guess it softens the wound of giving up Zubac if you get Nick Richards back with Kevin Durant, who's a nice big man. And then you're looking at the Clippers starting lineup being, James Harden would be at the 1, of course. You're expecting Kawhi at the 3, Durant at the 4, and Richards at the 5. I'm guessing Bogdanovich would be at the 2. I think it'd probably be Chris Dunn that would be starting at the shooting guard position. It'd probably be either Chris Dunn or Bogdanovich, but it very well could be should be Chris Dunn. If Norman Powell's gone, Zubac's gone, they add in Durant and Richards. I'd imagine Richards and Durant would join the starting lineup, and then Chris Dunn would be in the starting lineup as well. And he was starting in that series against Denver. But let me know your thoughts on this potential trade for the Clippers in the comment section, and peace out.